Hi, you've reached Hell's Gate. Today's topic, I want to talk about the dragon words, ancient words, and the which are located in the Palace of Dragon Words here. So we'll enter this, and you get two options. You can view a listing of all the dragon words, and in order to make up these words, you need the dragon stones. So in the upper right-hand corner, if you press this button, it gives you access to all the dragon stones, and it's very sensitive to touch. There we go. So this lists all the dragon stones that I have, and you can see that I have a few here: 21, 20, 19 on Roman numerals, and then over here at level 1, I have the rest of my dragon stones here, and pretty much what it does is that it activates the necessary stones that are needed for a particular word that you have, and then it just throws everything else back into level 1. So now one of the things that I wanted to cover today is kind of two things. Is One is, what does it take to accumulate enough stones in order to make up a word? Two, the ancient words and how you get those. And then a concern that's been brought up by a few is in regards to the ancient stone or the ancient words, is that once you get them, are you stuck with them? And will you lose them if you transfer back to another word? And so that's kind of a concern because some of these words have a high cost to them, and the last thing you want to do is to lose them and not be able to get them back again until many months later after you've accumulated enough stones again. So, so first is, how do we gain enough words or letter or stones to make a word? And let's just start real simple. We'll just start with a real small dragon word here. One of the very first ones. Let's take for instance farming. It requires a level 1 stone and a level 2 stone. And at the moment, I have a level 1. Actually, I got a couple million level 1s, but I don't have any level 2s. So in order to make that, I can click on this, view your storage, and here's my level 1s. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fuse, and I only need to fuse just one really. And now I have a level 2 stone. So now if I want to go back to a certain word, and now I've got two highlighted stones for farming. I got my level 1 stone, I got my level 2 stone, and I can activate it. So now I've activated that word. And so it's real simple. And then if you're interested in activating a more advanced word, go to level 5s. Now you see that, I have to activate all these four letters here, and you have to shift all these stones to the appropriate number, and it looks like they're flashing, so it kind of gives you a hint as to how you maximize these. Now, what's the value of a level 1 stone versus a level 2 stone and a level 3 stone and so forth? Well, the basic rule of thumb is that everything's based on powers of 2. So it takes two level 1s to make a level 2. It takes two level 2s to make a level 3, and so forth. Two level 3s to make a level 4, and so basically the amount of level 1's stones that's required to go from one level to the next level is a factor of 2. So as you can tell, as you get into level 20 and level 21, there's a lot of stones involved. And then if you accumulate enough to make a level 21 stone, then it's like you need double that amount to make a level 22 stone. So it gets pretty high, and you can see now the game has gone up to a level 25 stone. So I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to make that part, but there's a lot there. So the next thing, uh, back to my agenda, was that I wanted to talk about the ancient words. And the ancient words are different than the regular words. To kind of give an explanation of what the regular words are, and just real simple again, back to these smaller level ones here, is that once you accumulate a certain balance of stones, it gives you what I would call a free pass to activate all those words that require that number of stones or less. So it's pretty much you can transfer your balance around, and so pretty much you can switch between all these regular stones. You can pick and choose and toggle them back and forth as long as you have enough balance in your bank account to make that happen. Now, in order to activate an ancient word, those are different. Here's an ancient word here. This is probably one of the first ones I ever activated way back at the beginning of the game. And if we click on the information here, here's a little description here, is that not only do you have to have the balance of number of level stones in order to be able to activate this word, but it says that for the first time activating the ancient dragon word, it will consume of course, corresponding dragon graphene stones. And so once you activate it, it'll actually consume them. So if you just had enough stones in order to be able to activate this word, which consists of a level 6, a level 8, and a level 9, once you activate it, you now have zero balance of all your graphene stones, but you will be able to activate this word, um, anytime you want. So it's kind of so these ancient words are ones that you actually have to pay for. The other ones is that once you have enough of a balance, you have a pass or the luxury of being able to activate them at will. So, what I'm wanting to do later on in this presentation is that I'm actually going to activate an ancient word. But before I get there, I kind of want to kind of highlight some of my favorite words. There's a way to do a memory here, so that's what showed up at the top of the screen here. And these are my favorite ones that I've have committed to memory at the moment. I have the extreme attack, and the nice thing about extreme attack is that it's got a very strong attack. It's got a very strong one of the stronger ones of offensive damage taken and a reduction of that. It also has a pretty beefy offensive damage of 15%. It's got archer damage of 15%, cavalry damage of 12%, and it kills wounded soldiers when attacking castles at 6%. So it's actually pretty valuable. And this happens to be an ancient word. So what I had to do is that I had to accumulate enough to make a level 14, a level 16, a level 20, and a level 21. And once I activated that word, it consumed that many stones off of my balance of stones. And that's one of the drawbacks of these ancient words, is that if you accumulate just enough to be able to activate an ancient word, that your balance goes to zero, you're no longer able to activate the regular words because you don't have enough balance for that. So what I've done is that I had activated this extreme attack word after I had enough balance so that I can keep my other favorite words in active as well. So you can see at the bottom here, the extreme attack required 1.6 million level 1 stones. But I also wanted to be able to use my govern by force, which requires 600,000 stones. And I also like my sagacious stone, which required 1.6 million. So if you look at it, if I needed to be able to activate 1.6 million to have sagacious, and I needed to be able to spend 1.6 million in order to be able to activate my extreme attack, I needed a total balance of 3.2 million. So that's what I did when that happened. Um, and so, just a quick summary: govern the force. This is my favorite word for troop training speed, and sagacious is very good for research because down at the below here, not only does it have a training speed, but it's got the research workshop production of 100%. So that's really critical in accumulating those stones, research stones, so that you can do research of the higher stuff in the college as well as in the Sage Tower. And this also gives you some Sage Tower research speed benefits of the speed and the consumption. Um, then my last word I have up here for memory is a word I highly recommend for defense. Um, and it gives you defensive attack, defensive defense, defensive hit points or health points for your troops. One of the few words that has that. Defensive damage of 50% and damage reduction. And it's got archer damage. And so these three words, sharp deterrence, governed by force, and sagacious, those are all regular words, so they require a balance in order to be able to activate. And if you noticed, I've been switching all these words back and forth, and I can reactivate my extreme attack. So even though I had to buy 1.6 million stones in order to be able to activate this word, I now have the word for the life of the game. You know, I can't lose it because I've already spent the stones for it. Versus the other ones where I have to maintain a balance in order to keep it. So now the I activated the extreme attack word first because it's got a lower balance, but there's actually another word that I've had my sights on for a while, and it actually costs more to get. And that's why I hadn't gotten it yet because it had a higher balance. I've been able to enjoy the benefits of extreme attack for several months now, but the next word that I'm wanting to get is Skyfall, and it's an ancient word, and it requires these stones in order to be able to activate it, and the total balance of that is 2.1 million stones. So if we go through so I basically needed another 500,000 stones more than I needed to do extreme attack. But now I'm at a point of, well, I've already bought extreme attack. Now I'm going to be buying Skyfall. So I've kind of wasted the 1.6 million stones on extreme attack. Will I ever use extreme attack ever again? And there are some benefits to extreme attack versus Skyfall, but some of the things that benefit Skyfall is that its offensive damage taken is actually, I believe it's less than extreme attack, but the offensive damage for Skyfall is actually 10 times more. Yeah, 10 points more. It's a 25% offensive damage versus extreme attack, which is 15. But then the offensive damage taken reduction for Skyfall is 22%, while with extreme attack it was 30%. So there's always trade-offs. So I think there will be some value for extreme attack. It's got the cavalry damage, I believe, but Skyfall, it's an archer word based, so it's got the archer attack of another 30% in here. So, so what I'm going to do is that I am going to go through the process of activating Skyfall. If you notice, my leveled 11 word or stone is highlighted, so that means I actually have a word placed in there, but I have to merge all my stones together to be able to activate the 7, the 12, and the 22 in order to be able to pay for this. So I'm going to pause the video and do all that so you don't have to see me go through the tedious effort of doing that, and we'll get my Skyfall activated. Okay, so I've gone through the process of activating all the individual stones in order to make my Skyfall word active, and as you can see now, all my 4 words here, or stones, are flashing. And so in order to make that happen, um, yep, I clicked on it and it's going to make it active. I don't quite want to do that yet, but yeah, basically I took all those stones and I had to spread it all the way up there, and pretty much all of them were consumed in order to fill this out. And so, and at the moment, I have activated my sharp deterrence, which is my highest value word, and then I went through the process of activating all the necessary stones here, and which I have been able to done. So I now know that if I activate my Skyfall, I know I have enough balance to be able to make my sharp deterrence active, and as a result of that, also my sagacious and my force active as well. And since my extreme attack word is an ancient word, I've already paid for it. So even though it says it costs 1.6 million, I can have a 0 balance and I will still be able to activate that word because I already paid for it. So, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm now going to click on the flashing stones. This dragon word is too powerful. Consume the related dragon graphene stones directly. Activating for the first time will consume a stone 12, and I'm not quite sure what it's saying here, but it won't consume it when activating again. So pretty much once you activate it, you never have to spend for it again, which is why I'm able to activate all my old ancient words with no problem. So I'm going to hit OK, and oh, I see what just happened here. I clicked on my level 12 stone, and so now that is active. You see it's no longer flashing. I'm now going to go to my level 22, which means it's going to spend that level 22 to make that word active. Now I'm going to spend the level 11 word or stone to make that happen. And now I'm going to spend the level 7 stone to make it active. And so now I've spent it all, and now I'm going to activate Skyfall officially. So now activating this for the first time will consume the related stones directly, and you won't have to consume it again when you want to activate it again later. Do I want to activate it? Yes. So now Skyfall is in my inventory of equipment to use. And to now show that I never lose it, I'm now going to switch to my Sagacious word, activate it. So now I've activated a different word. I'm going to close out, go back in. I've got Sagacious activated. I want to go back to my ancient word of Skyfall, which is new. I'm now going to activate it, and there it is. So now what I'm going to do is that, so I've got my training for by governed by force. I got my research stones for Sagacious. I got my defense under sharp deterrence. And now what I want to do is that I want to put Skyfall under extreme attack. So I'm going to click on extreme attack. And I'm trying to figure out the memory here. I'm going to cancel that. There we go. Now extreme attack is no longer in the memory. Now I got to go back to my word here. And I'm now going to commit that to memory. And here we go. So now we got my Skyfall for attack, sharp deterrence for defense, training, governed by force, and Sagacious for research stones. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and shows that I can toggle all these words around and never lose them. I still got enough balance to have these active words available, but I can now activate and unactivate my Skyfall, and I'm good to go. And I can switch it to any other ancient word that I've already spent for it in the past. But I hope you found this video useful. Also take some of the fears away of activating an ancient word and then hoping that you won't lose it if you want to decide to use another word, because there's a lot of valuable words out there to use for depending on the purpose that you want to do. And at the moment, I'm going to switch to my defensive word since I do not have a shield up, and I am good to go. So again, this is Hellsgate. I hope you enjoyed the video. I try to cover a lot about dragon words, ancient words, and being able to activate them and be able to toggle between various words after they're activated, and all's well. So please like this video, subscribe if you want to hear more updates on other features within Clash of Kings. And again, appreciate your time, and hope you enjoy this video. Thank you.